What's wrong with Meghan Markle, you ask? Well, Meghan Markle can never win with the press, and here's why. Queen Elizabeth II's funeral took place on the 19th of September 2022 at Westminster Abbey in London. There's a lot of excitement surrounding the event, and some of it included people standing in 10-mile-long lines for up to 24 hours to see a closed coffin of the Queen. Hospital cancelled many non-urgent procedures including C-sections for pregnant women. Even therapists within the healthcare system were forced to cancel difficult-to-get appointments to honor the Queen. Private companies all across the country, including supermarkets, were forced to shut to avoid criticism for not being sad enough about the Queen passing. Even John Oliver got cancelled in the UK for referring to the Queen's passing as a shocking death of a 96-year-old woman from natural causes, which, if you've been living under a rock, is what actually happened. However, one of the most astonishing occurrences during the period of mourning was the way Meghan Markle was treated by both the press and the public, regardless of doing absolutely nothing wrong throughout the 10-day-long event. The scrutiny she was under becomes even more shocking when you consider how quietly non-sweating Prince Andrew has been slipped back into royal procedures. So here's a quick recap to remind you of Meghan's sins against humanity. 1. She dared to speak up about racism within the royal ranks. 2. Sued a powerful British newspaper and dared to win for invasion of privacy. 3. And worst of all, taking her husband Prince Harry, and second in line to the British throne, back to America, Compton to be exact, for the sake of her mental health. On the other hand, favourite son of the Queen, Prince Andrew, was stripped of his titles and fired from all public duties as he fought a sexual assault case brought on by Virginia Giuffre. Virginia has alleged for years that she was the victim of sex trafficking by serial rapist Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. She claims to have been forced to have sex with Prince Andrew at the tender age of 17. Prince Andrew claims to have never met her, even though there are pictures of him standing in a house holding Virginia around the waist. He also claims that Virginia lied about the fact that he sweats like a pig in bed, when in fact he has a condition that prevents him from being able to sweat. But these pictures beg to differ. The prince also claims that the day she claimed the event took place was the same day he was at a birthday party at Pizza Express. However, his very expensive lawyers have not been able to bring forth any witnesses who would admit under oath that they were at said birthday party as claimed by the prince. Prince Andrew went on to settle the case with Virginia out of court. Andrew is reported to have avoided the trial by paying Virginia $16 million, with some of the money allegedly coming from his mother, the Queen's estate. I mean, who pays $16 million for a crime they did not commit? Yet, over the course of the 10-day mourning period, as Andrew stepped back into the public eye, it was Meghan who has somehow inspired most of the hate and criticism. The majority of the British media's coverage of the royal family was spent presenting the royals as putting on a united front out of respect for the Queen. To do this, both television and print media have actively avoided talking about Prince Andrew's legal issues and reputational woes. In fact, the only person who faced any legal issue was the one Scottish man who dared to heckle Prince Andrew during a procession in Edinburgh.
Andrew, you're a psychopath!
The 22-year-old was charged with disturbing the peace by activating his democratic rights. Something more insidious appears to be going on with the press. If you were to search the Daily Mail's website for stories about Prince Andrew, what you get are predominantly stories about the general funeral coverage and death of the Queen. However, if you do the same search but for Meghan Markle, you get a sea of articles painting the Duchess in very bad light. You can find negative articles about Meghan Markle crying at the funeral, while Kate Middleton is presented as the picture of poise and elegance. There are also stories of Meghan being uninvited to a Buckingham State reception, most likely done by the palace to ensure that she's kept out of sight and can't be seen in any positive light. You see, Meghan Markle continues to pose a threat to their shine as long as she continues to speak about her experiences within the royal family, or quite frankly, as long as she continues to do anything that might make her look good. You also see article after article bending out of shape to report other people's criticism of Meghan. This is clearly being done as a smart way to paint Meghan Markle as evil and aggressive without the Daily Mail or other media outlets being held responsible for the toxic statements being made. An example of some of these headlines include: Australian Senator brands Meghan Markle a horrible human being with a terrible influence on Prince Harry. Prince Harry is a grown man. How can a woman have so much influence on a grown, privileged man? Another headline goes on to say, Meghan's new favorite magazine, The Cut, launches vicious attack on father-in-law King Charles for being a big fussy baby and a jerk to his staff. Finally, another headline goes on to say, Bill Maher takes a jab at Meghan Markle's Archetypes podcast. You cannot find much of this going on for Prince Andrew. While Andrew failed to make it into the top trending topics during his return to the spotlight over the 10 days of mourning and the funeral, Meghan got more hate with the hashtag #GoHomeMeghanMarkle. The hashtag started after Meghan accompanied her husband Prince Harry, his brother Prince William, and Kate Middleton to greet British mourners of the Queen at Windsor Castle. However, if Meghan had not done the greeting with her husband, the same press would have lost their mind over her not showing sufficient respect to the Queen and disregarding the British public. But as you can see from this headline, showing up didn't do her much favours either. While some of the public welcomed Meghan with hugs.
Oh my god, hi!
What's your name?
Amelka.
Amelka. Oh, how beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. It means so much to the family. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
How long have you been waiting?
Like 2 hours.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, hopefully you'll be able to get back home soon. We appreciate you being
Can I
here.
hug you?
Of course.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
You're so lovely. You're literally so beautiful.
The press and the bad faith actors on Twitter were quick to highlight their relentless hate for Meghan. You can see the hateful desperation of the British press as Meghan is hugged by this thoughtful young woman. After the heartwarming clip went viral, with loads of young people stepping forward to welcome Meghan with love, the press chose to jump on a toxic old Karen who chose to be petty, spiteful, and rude. There was celebration when they saw her ignore Meghan Markle. The unnecessary hate could not be defended by any of Meghan's haters. Chief Meghan hater and royal expert Angela Levin had a complete meltdown when asked by Talk TV host Vanessa where she got her facts about Meghan Markle from.
Let me ask Angela a question. Angela, do you feel any guilt? Do you feel that you have been responsible for fueling a kind of anti-Meghan faction that has been spiteful and targeting? I wonder whether, you know, it's based on any kind of real knowledge about her personality and what she truly feels and thinks. Because after all, how can you know? How can any of us really know?
Guess what, bitch?
Well, that's your view. My view is if I'm asked a question, I answer it in the way I think. And that's it.
Yeah, but it's a question about what you base your thoughts on, whether you've just imagined it, whether you're projecting, whether you really know, whether you actually have experience, whether they're facts, whether it's conjecture. You know, you say what you think, but what are the thoughts based on is the question, isn't it?
I'd rather you didn't attack me. If you want to attack me, you shouldn't invite me on. Because
I don't think I'm attacking you. I'm just asking you.
No, you're not just asking me. You've got an agenda there to attack me.
As you can see from the clip, Angela Levin doesn't seem to have any basis as to why she hates Meghan so much. She doesn't have any evidence as to where she's getting her data from and seems almost insulted for being asked to provide the evidence. So it's shocking that an individual can be so ignorant.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome American TV and film actress and UN Women's Advocate for Political Participation and Leadership, Meghan Markle.
I am extremely proud to stand before you on this significant day, which serves as a reminder to all of us of how far we've come, but also amid celebration, a reminder of the road ahead.
Meghan, being the intelligent and savvy woman that she is, must have known in advance that she was going to be in a no-win situation as soon as she landed in Britain. This is why she has sailed through the scrutiny with as much dignity and poise as any human could possibly muster under such terrible conditions. Some of the excuses for the hate is that Meghan taking Harry and keeping her kids in America is part of the reason the 96-year-old Queen died. They ignore the fact that in the Oprah interview, Meghan and Harry went out of their way to paint the Queen in very positive light. The truth is, the damage to Meghan in the UK is complete. For royal experts and supporters, Meghan must be treated as a pariah. She must never be forgiven until she is gone, or comes back begging for forgiveness for not yielding sufficiently to the attacks from within the royal household and the press. Remember, the royals went out of their way to protect Andrew when he was under attack for being friends with the sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, whom he allowed to sit on the Queen's throne at Buckingham Palace. Meghan's crime isn't her race, but also the fact that the British public is willing to put up with royal overlords as long as the people at the top of that hierarchy are willing to keep their mouths closed and play the game. A key part of the game, as every woman who ever married into the royal family knows, is putting up with the bullying from both the press and the public.
Do you think you'll ever be Queen?
No, I don't. No.
Why do you think that?
I'd like to be a queen of people's hearts, in people's hearts. But I don't see myself being queen of this country. I don't think many people would want me to be queen. Actually, when I say many people, I mean the establishment that I'm married into, because they've decided that I'm a non-starter.
Why do you think they've decided that?
Because I do things differently. Because I don't go by a rule book. Because I lead from the heart, not the head. And albeit that's got me into trouble in my work, I understand that. But someone's got to go out there and love people and show it.
Kate Middleton endured a decade of mockery as she sat around waiting for Williams to be ready to marry her. She had no real job except waiting. She took the attacks, and as a reward, she's now only spoken about in glowing light. Meghan, who worked for everything she had, a university degree, a UN ambassador, and a relatively successful TV career, refused to play along. Another reason Kate is being protected is because she's the future queen. The press make money from access to the royals, and any station or outlet that dares to attack the very top is punished with banishment. That means no access, no interviews, no treats. You are relegated to the sidelines. We can see that here in this clip, where an American anchor is recorded on a hot mic saying that she had all the tea when it came to Prince Andrew's sex crimes, but could not release it due to her organization wanting access to the royal family.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story.
And then also, pure hate from some. Do you think Meghan Markle has a chance at winning in the UK or ever being forgiven? Let us know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.